Know the Law is brought to you by the law offices of Atkins and Markoff.
Always time to know the law. And with me today, Dan Markoff with Atkins and Markoff Law Firm. And a lot of people, the first question they want to know is, why do I need an attorney? Why can't I just do this myself? What would you say?
Well, I'd actually say a different response than you would think, which is you don't always need an attorney. Here's a simple way of maybe looking at it. If you have a situation that's like what you see on a judge show on TV, you probably don't need a lawyer.
Oh, really?
That's right. That's when you don't need a lawyer. When you do need a lawyer is when you have a serious situation of any sort, and the reason that you want to talk to someone is that you have to think of it as like there's two sides. And the defense, they're working on their case, your case, immediately. And every day that you don't hire someone is a day that's lost.
Okay, because so they're building all the evidence and everything. And
of course, there's so much work that goes into it, and you're not doing anything, and they're doing everything. And people, their witnesses, their memories change, they forget things, evidence is lost and gone. And so it's one of those things where you're better off to try and find out immediately if you need help, and instead of waiting months or even years. I have people that call me 2 years after something happened.
Oh, and by then sometimes, well, it's never too late. There's always a chance.
Oh, there is too late.
Oh, there is too late? Okay.
Too late. Oklahoma has all sorts of rules, statutes and limitations.
Sure, no, I understand that. But as far as like, for, you know, if someone decides to launch a case 2 years later, you know, maybe legally they can do it, but mentally things get maybe muddled a bit.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many cases where people have called me, prospective clients, and I would have taken that case if I had talked to them in 30, 60, 90 days. A year later, there's just no chance.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's way too long. That's
really interesting. Now, what about, I know that when people are thinking about settlements or, you know, money, they think, well, if I have an attorney, you know, they're going to take all of what I get awarded if I get awarded something, and so they worry that that won't benefit them. How does that work?
Oh, I understand, and the best way, and believe me, people, there's no trust for lawyers in America right now, and it's just the way it is. It's a trust that's built, and it's built through confidence and working with people, and it comes over time, but it's usually not in the beginning. And so what happens is that when they decide to hire a lawyer and they talk to us and they find out that it's something that they don't know what they're doing. It's the equivalent of someone said, well, would you do heart surgery yourself? And the answer is, well, of course you wouldn't. You know, you might try and do some plumbing in your home or something like that, which may not go so well either. But I mean, we've been trained. We've gone to school for 7 years, and we've worked for years generally in doing this, and it's complicated. It's extraordinarily complicated. And what happens is that people that decide to do it on their own because they don't have a trust in lawyers, they get into trouble, and then they call, and then it's too late.
And as you were saying, it's also just the manpower and the labor involved as well. Even if you're a really bright person, you still have a whole nother job and a life. And as you said, the other team, the defense, is building and building and building, and you know, just hours alone, you probably would struggle doing that.
It's an enormous amount of time, collecting information, records, investigation, everything, and you don't know what is right and what you're doing is right, and you don't know what you're doing is wrong.
So you call the professionals.
At least talk.
At least talk.
I talk to people all day, every day, and say,
you're really good about that. You know, you will lay it on the line and say, you know, this could work, this couldn't. I mean, you and I have worked together for a long time.
We have.
And I would say he's a man to trust. Atkins and Markoff Law Firm, located, beautiful location, by the way, 9211 Lake Hefner Parkway. Call them. Their number is right there, 405-607-8757. You can also log on to their website at atkinsandmarkoff.com. You can check them out on Twitter at Oklahoma City Law and at Facebook, Oklahoma City Lawyer. Lots of ways to get in touch with a good attorney. Shelby, over to you.
Thanks, Meg.